Why do you always wear black?
I'm in mourning for my life. I'm unhappy.
Why? I don't understand. Your health is good. Your father may not be rich, but he has all he needs. My life is far harder than yours. I make 23 rubles a month. That's all. Not counting pension deductions, and I don't go around wearing black.
It's nothing to do with money. You can be poor and happy.
You can in theory, but what happens in practice is this. There's me, there's my mother, my 2 sisters, and my younger brother. And my salary is 23 rubles. We have to eat and drink, don't we? We need tea and sugar, don't we? I need my tobacco. So there's not a lot of elbow room.
The play's starting soon.
Yes. Yes, Miss Sarexnaya is acting in it, and Konstantin Gavrilovich has written it. They are in love with one another, and today their souls will unite in an effort to achieve a single artistic goal. Whereas my soul and your soul have no common point of connection. I love you. I'm so obsessed with you. I can't stay at home. So every day I walk 4 miles here and 4 miles back. And all I get from you is utter indifference. I quite understand. No money and a large family to support. Who'd want to marry a man who can hardly feed himself?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm touched by your love. I just can't return it. That's all. Help yourself.
I don't feel like it.
It's so humid. I expect there will be a storm in the night. If you're not theorizing, you're talking about money. You claim there's nothing worse than poverty, but in my opinion, it'd be infinitely simpler to be a beggar wearing rags than to... Not that you would ever understand.
You know, the thing is, my boy, I've never really got to grips with living in the country, and I hardly need say this. I don't think I'll ever feel on top of it. I went to bed at 10 last night, and this morning I woke up at 9, feeling as though, well, all that sleep had gummed my brain to my skull, if you know what I mean. And then after lunch, I nodded off, quite by accident, and now I feel shattered, as though I were in the middle of some nightmare or something.
Yes, you'd be much better off in town. We'll call you when we're ready to start, but you shouldn't be here now. Please, go away.
Maria Ilyich, you know, would you be so kind as to tell your papa to ask them to untie the dogs so they don't howl again? They kept my sister awake again all night.
Speak to my father yourself. I'm not going to do it. Please don't ask me. Come on.
You'll be sure to send someone for us in good time.
Well, that means the dog's going to howl again all night. Well, it's a nonsense, really. I've never been able to live in the country the way I wanted to. In the old days, I used to get a month off and come down here for a rest, if you know what I mean, but, well, there'd be so many idiotic little problems to be dealt with that you wouldn't be here a day before you'd be desperate to escape again, and, well, I've always been delighted to get away from this place, but, well, now I'm retired, there's nowhere else for me to go when it comes down to it, so on we go, like it or not.
It'll be starting soon. Here it is, our theater. A curtain, one wing, the other, and beyond that, empty space. No sets of any kind. Open view onto the lake and the horizon. We'll raise the curtain at exactly 8:30 as the moon is rising.
Oh, wonderful, yes.
Of course, if Nina is late, The whole effect will be ruined. She should be here by now. Her father and stepmother keep a close watch on her, and for her, getting out of the house is like a prison break. Your hair and beard are a bit of a shambles. Could do with a trim or something.
Yes, it's the tragedy of my life, really. It was just the same when I was young. Always looked as though I'd been on the bottle, if you know what I mean. Women never took to me. Why is my sister in such a bad mood?
Why? Because she's bored. And she's jealous. She's anti-me, anti the performance, and anti my play. Because she's not in it, and Nina is. She hasn't read my play, but she already hates it.
You're imagining it, honestly. Yes.
She's angry that even on this tiny little stage, it'll be Nina's triumph and not hers. My mother is a real psychological curiosity. Undoubtedly talented, intelligent, capable of crying her eyes out over a book. She can rattle off the whole of Nekrasov by heart, or look after the sick like an angel. But try praising Doucet in front of her. She's the only one you can praise. She's the only one you can write about. You have to foam at the mouth about her. You have to rave about her astonishing performance in La Dame Cameliao, the ecstasy of life. But since there's no supply of this particular drug out here in the country, she gets bored and irritable. And we're all her enemies. It's all our fault. Added to which, she's superstitious. She's terrified of 3 candles of the number 13. And she's stingy. She has 70,000 in the bank in Odessa. I know that for a fact. But try asking her for a loan, and she'll burst into tears.
You've decided your mother doesn't like your play, but it's all in your head. You're just working yourself up into a ladder for no reason. Just calm down. Your mother adores you.
She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not. You see, my mother doesn't love me. How could she? She wants to live and love and wear vivid blouses. But here I am, 25 years old, and a constant reminder that she's not young anymore. When I'm not around, she can be 32. But when I am, she's 43, and she hates me for it. She also knows I have no respect for the theater. She loves the theater. She thinks she's a servant of humanity, of the sacred cause of art. Whereas, as far as I'm concerned, the modern theater is in a blind alley. A fenced-off blind alley. When the curtain goes up and those great geniuses, those priests of sacred art, artificially lit in a room with 3 walls, reproduce the way people eat, drink, love, move about, and put their jackets on. When they try to concoct some moral out of their crass scenes and dreary lines, some petty, oversimplified moral, some one-size-fits-all moral for handy domestic use. When I'm offered 1,000 varieties of the same thing over and over and over again, then I run for it. Run away like Maupassant ran away from the Eiffel Tower because its crass vulgarity was pulverizing his brain.
You couldn't do without the theatre.
New forms. We need new forms, and if there are none to be had, we'll be better off with nothing at all. I love my mother. I love her very much. But her life is futile. She smokes and drinks and spends all her time fretting over that writer she lives with. Her name is never out of the papers, and I'm fed up with it. Sometimes I feel, just an ordinary selfish impulse. And sometimes I'm sorry my mother is a famous actress and think, if she were an ordinary woman, I could be happier. Uncle, could anything be more hopeless and stupid than my situation? I'll be round at her place sometimes in a room jammed full of celebrities, actors and writers, and I'll be the only one of the lot of them who's a nobody. And the only reason they put up with me is that I'm her son. Who am I? What am I? I left university in my final year due to causes for which, as they say, the editor accepts no responsibility. I have no qualifications, no money, not one kopeck, and according to my passport, I'm a petit bourgeois from Kiev. Well, my father was a petit bourgeois from Kiev, although he was also a well-known actor. And when those actors and writers in her drawing room would turn their kind attention to me, it always seemed to me from their expressions that they were just gauging my insignificance. I could guess what they were thinking. It was painfully humiliating.
Well, by the way, that writer, would you mind telling me what sort of person he is? He never opens his mouth. I can't work him out at all.
He's an intelligent man, unpretentious, a bit, melancholy, pretty decent. He's still nowhere near 40, but he's already famous. His cup runneth over. As for his work, well, what can I say? It's clever and charming. But if you read Tolstoy or Zola, you wouldn't want to read Trigorin.
My boy, I love writers. Once upon a time, I had two passionate desires. I wanted to get married and I wanted to be a writer. I didn't satisfy either of them. Yes, it would have been nice to have even been a minor writer.
Someone's coming. I can't live without her. Even the sound of her footsteps is beautiful. I'm deliriously happy. Miss Valminder, my dream.
I'm not late, am I? I know I'm not late.
No.
I've been in a state all day. I've been so terrified. I was afraid my father wouldn't let me come. He's only just gone out with my stepmother. The sky is red, the moon is starting to rise, and I spurred the horse on, I spurred it on. But I'm happy.
Oh, your eyes, it looks as though you've been crying. That's no good.
It's nothing. Look how out of breath I am. I have to leave in half an hour. We'd better hurry. I can't stay any longer. You mustn't keep me, for God's sake. My father doesn't know I'm here.
In fact, we should be starting right away. We need to fetch everyone.
You know what, I'll go. Tout sweet. Home to France, march to Grenadiers. Well, I once piped up singing like this, and one of the prosecutors, a colleague of mine, he said to me, well, I must say, Your Excellency, you have a powerful voice. And he thought for a minute, and he went on. He said, powerful but hideous.
My father and his wife will let me come here. They say it's too bohemian. They're afraid I'll be infected and want to be an actress. But I'm as drawn to this lake as if I were a seagull. My heart is full of you all.
We're alone.
I think there's someone coming.
No one's coming.
What kind of tree is that?
An elm.
Why is it so dark?
It's evening. Everything's turning dark. Don't go away so soon. Please, I beg you.
I have to. I'm not allowed to stay.
Suppose I come to your house, Nina. I'll stand in the garden all night, just gazing up at your window.
You mustn't. The watchman will catch you. And Treasure isn't used to you. He'll bark.
I love you. All right, places. It's time. moon is rising. The meth and the sulfur. When the red eyes light up, there has to be a smell of sulfur. Off you go. Everything's prepared. Are you nervous?
Very. I don't mind your mother. I'm not afraid of her. But Trigorin is here. Acting in front of him makes me feel frightened, mortified. A famous writer. Is he young?
Yes.
His stories are so wonderful.
I wouldn't know. I've never read them.
Your play is difficult to act in. There aren't any living characters.
Living characters. You have to show life not as it is, not even as it ought to be, but as you see it in your dreams.
Yes, but there isn't much action, is there? It's just a lot of speeches. And I think you always have to have love in a play.
It's getting damp. Go back in and put on your galoshes.
I'm hot.
You won't look after yourself. It's sheer pig-headedness. You're a doctor. You know perfectly well damper is bad for you. You just want to make me miserable. Yesterday, you deliberately spent all evening sitting on the terrace.
Where is my youth?
You were so engrossed in your conversation with Irina Nikolaevna, you didn't even notice the cold. Tell the truth. You find her attractive.
I'm 55 years old.
That's nothing. That's no age for a man, and you're extremely well preserved, and you're still attractive to women.
You'd rather I wasn't?
All you men. You're all dying to bow down and worship an actress.
Here I am, at your feet. If people love actors and treat them differently than, say, businessmen, that's just the way things are. It's called idealism.
Women were always falling in love with you, clinging round your neck. Was that idealism as well?
What's it matter? There's a lot to be said for the way women felt about me. What they liked most about me was that I was an excellent doctor. 10 or 15 years ago, if you remember, I was the only decent obstetrician in the area. Also, I've always been honest. Quiet, they're coming.
At the festival, she gave the most amazing performance. Pure pleasure. Wonderful performance. And the comic actor Shan, I don't suppose you know what's become of him. He was incredible in Krasinski's wedding. Even better than Sadovsky. Take my word for it, dear lady. But where's he now?
You keep throwing these prehistoric names at me. How should I know?
Pashka Shadin? There's no one out there to touch him. The theater's on its last legs, Irina Nikolaevna. Once upon a time, there were mighty oaks. Now all you see is tree stumps.
It's true, there may be fewer genuinely brilliant individuals these days, but the general standard of acting is far higher.
I can't agree with you. Although, of course, it's a matter of taste. De gustibus aut bene aut nihil.
Ah, my son. When's it starting, dear?
In a minute. Just be patient, please.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turns mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their tint.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, hunting and making love over the nasty sty. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to begin. Your attention, please. I begin. O you honored ancient shades, floating above the surface of the night lake, lull us to sleep and let us dream of what will come to pass 200,000 years from now.
200,000 years from now, there'll be nothing.
Then let them show us this nothing.
Yes, let them. We've been told to go to sleep.
Human beings, lions, eagles and partridges, antlered deer, geese, spiders, fish, silent beneath the waters, starfish, and invisible microscopic creatures. All living things, all living things, all living things. Their tragic cycle, finally complete, are now extinct. For thousands of centuries, no living species has moved across the face of the earth, and this poor moon has shown her lamp in vain. The cranes no longer wake, whooping in the meadow, and in the lime groves, the may beetles are silent. Cold, 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 bleak, 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 petrifying, petrifying, petrifying. The bodies of all living creatures have crumbled into dust, and the eternal laws of matter have transformed them into rock, into waters, into clouds, and their souls have melted into one soul. And I am that universal soul. The souls of Alexander the Great, of Shakespeare, Caesar, and Napoleon, and of the lowliest leech are all within me. Human consciousness and animal instinct are combined in me. And I know everything. 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 I live each life anew within myself.
It's one of those decadent things.
Mother.
I'm alone. Once in every 100 years, I raise my voice to speak, and the sound echoes melancholy through the void, and no one hears. Not even you hear me, pale fires. The stagnant marsh pushes you out into the darkness, and you wander until dawn. Unthinking, unconsenting, lacking the vital spark. And for fear that life might quicken within you, the devil, the father of eternal matter, shuffles your atoms in continuous flux and reflux as he does in rock and water, so that your fate is never-ending change. Through the whole universe, everything changes, everything mutates. But the spirit, like a prisoner thrown into a deep empty well, I don't know where I am, or why am I waiting? Everything is hidden from me, but the knowledge that in my stubborn, brutal struggle with the devil, the origin of all material forces, I am destined to conquer. And when I do, matter and spirit will merge in glorious harmony, and the kingdom of universal freedom will be born. But this can only come to pass inch by inch through the many long millennia, after the moon and brilliant Sirius and the earth itself have come to dust. Until then, oh, the horror! The horror! See, my mighty adversary, the devil, draws near. I see his fearsome crimson eyes.
Oh, there's a smell of sulfur. Is that intentional?
Yes.
Ah, I see. It's an effect.
Mother.
Without man, he is lonely.
You taking your hat off? Put it on, you'll catch cold.
The doctor's taken his hat off to pay respects to the devil, the father of eternal matter.
What's it? The place over.
Why are you getting so exercise.
I apologize. I forgot that writing plays and acting in them is reserved for the elite. I've broken the monopoly.
Whatever's the matter with him?
Irina, my dear, a young man's pride, you must be a little more careful.
Oh, but earlier on he told us his play was a joke, so I treated it like a joke.
You've hurt his feelings.
Now it turns out he's written a masterpiece, really. And he's put on this exhibition and fumigated us all with sulphur, not as a joke, but as some kind of provocation. He wants to teach us how to write and what to act. I'm bored by all this, these continual sneers at my expense, these constant pinpricks. Say what you like, they're enough to try anyone's patience. He's a moody, arrogant boy.
All the same.
If he wanted to please me, he would put on an ordinary sort of play rather than making us sit through this decadent gibberish. Not that I mind listening to a bit of gibberish from time to time, but no. What we have here is pretending to be a new form, a new era in art. Far from being a new form, it's just bad manners.
Everyone chooses his own subject, writes to the best of his ability.
Oh, well then let him choose his own subject and write to the best of his ability and then let him leave me out of it.
Ah, the wrath of Jupiter.
I'm not Jupiter. I'm a woman. And I'm not angry. I'm just irritated that a young man chooses to pass his time in such an uninteresting way. I didn't mean to hurt his feelings.
It's not justifiable to separate between matter and spirit, because spirit may itself be a combination of material atoms. But you know, someone ought to write a play about teachers' lives and put that on in the theater. Our life is hard. It's very hard.
I'm sure, but let's not talk about plays or atoms. It's such a gorgeous evening. Can you hear that? The singing. Beautiful.
It's from the other side of the lake.
Sit next to me. 10 or 15 years ago, you'd hear music and singing here by the lake almost every night. There are 6 country houses spread out along the shore here. I can remember laughter, noise, shooting parties, and the love affairs. Endless love affairs. And the jeune première and objects of worship for all 6 of those households was none other than the doctor, Yevgeny Sergeyevich. He's still charming, but in those days he was irresistible. Conscience is beginning to worry me. What made me hurt my poor boy's feelings? It's worrying me. Kostya! Son! Kostya!
I'll go and look for him.
Oh, thank you, dear.
Yoo-hoo! Konstantin Gavrilovich! Yoo-hoo!
We're obviously not going on, so I suppose I can come out now. Hello!
Bravo!
Bravo! We did admire you. You can't stay out in the country with your looks and such a marvellous voice. It'd be a sin. I'm sure you must be talented. Listen to what I'm saying. It's your duty to be on the stage.
That's my dream. But it will never happen.
Oh, who knows? Now, let me introduce Boris Alexeyevich Trigorin.
Oh, I'm so pleased to. I read everything you...
No need to be shy, dear. You see, at heart he's a very simple man, even though he's famous. You see, he's shy as well.
We can open the curtain now, can't we? It's getting a bit spooky.
It's a strange play, isn't it?
I didn't know what was going on, but I enjoyed it. Your acting is very truthful, and the setting it's beautiful. That lake must be full of fish.
Yes.
I love fishing. For me, there is no greater pleasure in life than to sit on the bank at twilight watching my float.
But I'd have thought for someone who knows the joy of creativity, no other pleasures would exist.
Oh, he mustn't speak to him like that. He doesn't know how to deal with people saying nice things to him.
I remember a performance at the Moscow Opera House when the famous Silva hit Lower C. It so happened that one of the basses from our church choir was sitting up in the balcony. Suddenly, you can imagine our complete astonishment. We heard from the balcony, "Bravo, Silva," but a whole octave lower, like this. "Bravo, Silva." The whole theater was transfixed.
The angel of silence has flown overhead.
I have to fly too. Goodbye.
Oh, where are you going? It's so early. We're not going to let you go.
My father is expecting me.
Honestly, what a man. Well, if it can't be helped, I'm sorry. I hate to let you go.
If you only knew how much I hate leaving you.
Someone should see you home, darling.
Oh, no.
Well, do stay.
I can't, Pyotr Nikolaevich.
Just another hour. No more. I mean, you know what I mean.
No, I can't.
She's a most unfortunate girl, really. Apparently, her mother's will left her entire enormous fortune to the husband, every last penny, and nothing at all to this poor girl. And her father's already made a will, leaving everything to the second wife. It's outrageous.
Yes, you have to give him credit. Her father's an out-and-out villain.
Well, let's go in as well, shall we? It's getting damp and my legs ache.
They're so stiff, your legs. They're like wooden legs. Come on, then. Oh, I can hardly walk. Let's be off with you, poor old thing.
Madame?
I can hear that dog howling again. Would you be kind enough to tell them to let her off its chain?
I can't do that, Pyotr Nikolaevich. I don't want thieves breaking into the bar. All my billets in there. That's right, a whole octave lower. Bravo, Silva. And you know, he wasn't even a singer, just an ordinary member of the church choir.
Any idea how much a member of a choir would earn?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just ignorant or completely off my head, but I like that play. There was something about it. When that little girl spoke about being alone and then the devil's red eyes appeared, I was so moved. My hands started shaking. It was original, naive. I think that's him coming now. I want to say something really nice to him.
They've all gone in already.
I'm here.
Mashenka's been chasing me all over the gardens. Unbearable creature.
Konstantin Gavrilovich, I really liked your play. Enormously. It was a curious piece and I didn't see the end, but even so, it made a powerful impression on me. You're very talented. You have to go on with this. Oh, my word. Your nerves are really wrong. There are tears in your eyes. What am I trying to say? You've taken a subject from the realm of abstract ideas. That's as it should be, because it's essential for a work of art to express some big idea. Something can only be beautiful if it's serious. Yes. You're so pale.
So you're saying I should keep going?
Yes, yes, yes. But only write about what's important and eternal. I've had a varied and fascinating life, fulfilling. But if I'd been given the opportunity to scale the spiritual heights that an artist achieves in the moment of creativity, I think I'd have had nothing but contempt for my physical existence and for everything it entails. I'd have soared into the stratosphere and left the earth as far below as possible.
Excuse me, where's Nina?
And another thing. A work of art has to have some clear governing idea. You have to know why you're writing it. Because if you just ramble down some picturesque byway without a definite aim in mind, you lose your way and your talent will destroy you.
Where's Nina?
She's gone home.
What am I going to do? I want to see her. I have to see her. I'm going over there.
No, calm down.
I don't care. I'm going. I have to.
Come indoors, Konstantin Gavrilovich. Your mother's looking for you. She's worried about you.
Tell her I've gone away. And please, all of you, just leave me alone. Leave me alone. Stop following me around.
Now, dear boy. Don't be like that. It isn't fair.
Goodbye, Doctor. Thank you.
Ah. Youth. Youth.
When people can't think of anything better to say, they say youth, youth.
Filthy habit. I expect they've started playing indoors. We'd better go in.
Just a minute.
What?
I've told you before, but I want to say it again. I really want to talk. I don't love my father, but I've always had a feeling for you. You're somehow close to me. I feel it with all my heart. Please help me. Help me or I'll do something stupid. I'll ruin my life or make a mockery of it. I can't go on like this.
What is it? What can I do?
I'm unhappy. Nobody has any idea how unhappy I am. I'm in love with Konstantin.
How neurotic everyone is. So neurotic. And all this love must be the magic of the lake. What can I do about it, my child? What? What?
Stand up, would you? Stand next to me. You're 22, and I'm almost twice that. Yevgeny Sergeyevich, which of us looks younger?
Well, you, of course.
There you are. And why should that be? Because I work. I'm sensitive, and I'm always busy. Whereas you're stuck in one place, you have no life. And I make it a rule never to look into the future. What will be, will be.
I feel as if I were born a long, long age ago. My life drags along behind me. It's as if I'm wearing a dress with an interminable train. And as often as not, I have no desire to go on living. Of course, all of that's absurd. I need to give myself a good shake and snap out of it.
Carry my love to her and leave the spur. Blooms that flower by her side.
Also, I'm as punctilious as an Englishman. I make sure I'm perfectly turned out, as they say, and my clothes and my hair, my dear, are always en point. Do I ever allow myself to leave the house, even to step into the garden, without doing my hair? Never. That's how I've kept my looks. I've never let myself get frumpy. I've never let myself go the way some women do. See what I mean? Light as a feather. I could play a girl of 15.
Be that as it may, I shall go on reading. We've got as far as the flower merchants and the rats.
The rats. Read on. Rather, let me have it. I'll read. It's my turn. The rats. Ah, yes, here we are. Of course, it's as dangerous for a society hostess to indulge and try to attract a novelist as it would be for a flower merchant to breed rats in his granary. And yet they see nothing wrong with it. And so once a woman has set her sights on the writer she means to adopt, she besieges him with compliments, favours, and flattery. Well, that may be true of the French, but there's nothing like that here. No ulterior motives. In this country, before a woman sets out to entrap a writer, she's generally already head over heels in love, if you can imagine. To take an obvious example, just look at me and Trigorin.
Yes, we're happy, aren't we? Finally happy today. You see, we're happy. Our father and stepmother have gone off to Tver. We have 3 whole days of freedom.
Yes, I'm happy. I'm all yours.
Look at how pretty she is today.
All dressed up, nice looking. Aren't you a clever girl? Still, mustn't be too complimentary. We don't want to jinx her. Where's Boris Alexeyevich?
He's down by the bathing place, fishing.
I'm surprised he's not sick of it.
What's that?
Maupassant sur l'eau, darling. Well, the rest of it is neither true nor interesting. I feel on edge. Tell me, what's the matter with my son? Why is he so gloomy and bad-tempered? He spends days on end down by the lake. I hardly ever see him.
He's unhappy. Nina Mihailovna, please, could you give us a speech from his play?
Do you really want me to? It's so boring.
When he reads it himself, his eyes light up, and his face goes pale. He has a lovely, sad voice, and the look of a poet.
Night, night.
Petrusha! Are you asleep?
Of course not.
You're not taking any medicine, Petrusha. That's not very clever.
Well, I'd be happy to, but the doctor won't give me any.
Medicine. At 60.
But even at 60, you still want to stay alive?
All right, then. Take some valerian drops.
I'm thinking it'd do him good to go to a spa. Take the waters.
Well, he might do that, or he might not.
What are you talking about? I don't understand.
Nothing to understand. I've said what I've said.
Pyotr Nikolaevich ought to give up smoking.
Rubbish.
No, it's not rubbish. Wine and tobacco erode your personality. You drink a glass of vodka or smoke a cigar and you're no longer Pyotr Nikolaevich, you're Pyotr Nikolaevich plus. Your ego disintegrates and you start thinking of yourself in the third person.
Yes, well, it's all very well for you to talk. You've had a good life, but what about me? 28 years service in the Justice Department, and I've experienced nothing, if you know what I mean, and needless to say, I want a life. Well, you've had your share, and you don't care anymore, and that's what makes you so philosophical, but I want a life. So that's why I drink sherry at dinner and smoke cigars and all that sort of thing. Simple as that.
I'm all for taking life seriously. But to start swallowing medicine at 60 and feeling sorry for yourself because you didn't make the best of your youth, it's pretty fatuous, if you don't mind me saying so.
Must be lunchtime. My leg's gone to sleep.
She's off to have a couple of drinks before lunch.
Poor girl's had no happiness in her life.
Meaningless words, Your Excellency.
Well, you talk like a man who's had everything he wants.
Oh, is there anything more boring than this pure country boredom? Oh, it's hot, it's sleepy, no one's doing anything, everyone's sounding off their pet theories. It's nice to be with you, my friends. I enjoy listening to you, but to be sitting in a hotel room learning my lines, what could be better?
Oh, yes. I know exactly what you mean.
Well, of course you'd be better off in town. You sit there in your study and the footman lets no one in unannounced, and you have your telephone and there's cabs in the street and all that sort of thing.
Blooms a flower by her side, tell her she'll be my bride.
Here they are. Good afternoon. Delighted to see you looking so well. My wife tells me you're planning to go into town with her today, is that right?
Yes, it is.
That's all very well, but how are you expecting to get there, dear lady? We're carting the rye today and all our workmen are busy. Which horses were you intending to use, if you don't mind my asking?
Which horses? How should I know which horses?
We do have the carriage horses.
Carriage horses! And where am I supposed to get them harnesses? Where can I get them harnesses? Extraordinary. Inexplicable. My dear honored lady, I'm sorry. I'm in awe of your talent and I'd willingly sacrifice 10 years of my life for you. But don't ask me for horses.
But suppose I had to go. This is just bizarre.
My dear honored lady, you don't understand the meaning of farming.
Oh, don't start that again. If that's the way of it, I'm leaving for Moscow today. Order horses to be hired for me from the village, or else I'll walk to the station.
In that case, I resign. Find someone else to manage your estate.
It's the same thing every summer. Every summer I come here and they insult me. I'm never stepping foot in this place again.
The effrontery! What is going on here? I want every horse bought here immediately!
Refusing Irina Nikolaevna like that? She's a famous actress. Surely any wish of hers, even if it's the merest one, is far more important than anything to do with farming. This is incredible.
What am I supposed to do? Put yourself in my position. What am I supposed to do?
Well, let's all go and find my sister and we'll plead with her not to leave, all right? That unbearable man. Tyrant!
We'll push you. Don't get up. We'll push you. This is terrible.
Oh, yes, it's terrible, but he won't resign. I'll have a word with him in a minute.
Aren't people boring? By rights, your husband should be thrown out on his ear. But all that will happen is that Pyotr Nikolaevich, old woman that he is, and his sister will end up apologizing to him. You'll see.
It's because he has sent the carriage horses out into the field as well. Every day there are these upheavals. If you only knew how much they upset me. They're making me ill. Look, I'm shaking all over. I can't bear him being so rude. Evgeny, darling, my love, let me come and live with you. We're not young anymore. Time's passing. And if we could just, at the end of our lives, stop having to hide and tell lies.
I'm 55 years old. It's too late to go changing my life.
I know why you're refusing me. Because all the other women you're close to. You can't invite them all to come and live with you. I can see that. I'm sorry, I'm boring you. Have you been all morning with Irina Nikolaevna?
I have to be somewhere.
I'm tormented by jealousy. You must be sick of me.
Not at all.
Of course, you are a doctor. You can't avoid women. I know that. But I wish you understood how awful it makes me feel if you have to spend time with other women. Can't you at least keep it out of my sight?
I'll do my best. How's everything in there?
Irina Nikolaevna is crying and Pyotr Nikolaevich is having an asthma attack.
I'd better go in and give them some valerian drops.
These are for you.
Merci bien.
Gorgeous flowers. Give me those flowers. Give me those flowers.
How strange to see a famous actress crying. Especially about something so trivial. And something else strange. A famous writer, idolized by the public. His portrait on sale everywhere, his books translated into foreign languages. And he spends all day fishing, and he's thrilled to have caught 2 perch. I always thought famous people were arrogant and unapproachable, that they despised ordinary people for fawning on the upper classes and the rich, and used their celebrity and the glamour of their name to get even with them. But here they are, crying and fishing, playing cards, laughing and losing their temper, just like anyone else.
You're on your own?
Yes? What's that meant to mean?
I was cruel enough to kill this seagull today. Now I'm laying it at your feet.
What is wrong with you?
I'm going to kill myself soon. Same method.
I don't recognize you anymore.
Yes, since the day I stopped recognizing you. You've changed towards me. Your eyes are cold. I make you uncomfortable.
You've got so tetchy lately. The things you say are less and less intelligible. Perhaps they're meant to be symbolic. And I imagine the seagull is meant as some sort of symbol. But I'm sorry. Not one I understand. I'm too simple to understand you.
It all started that evening when my play was such a stupid disaster. Women never forgive failure. I burnt the whole thing. Every last page of it. If you only knew how unhappy I am. You're turning cold on me. It's terrible. I can't believe it. It's as if I've woken up and found a lake and suddenly dried up or drained away into the ground. You just said you're too simple to be able to understand me. What's there to understand? People didn't like the play. You find what inspires me contemptible. You now think I'm mediocre and worthless, just like everybody else does. I completely understand it. Completely. It's like a nail in my brain, damn it. And then my blood-sucking pride, sucking away at me like a snake. Oh, here comes the real genius, walking and reading like Hamlet. Words, words, words. The sun hasn't even reached you and you're smiling already. You're melting in its rays. I shan't get in your way.
Takes snuff, drinks vodka. Always wears black. Teacher is in love with her.
Good afternoon, Boris Alexeyevich.
Oh, good afternoon. Things have taken an unexpected turn. Apparently we're leaving today. I don't suppose we'll meet again. Pity. I don't often get the chance to meet young girls. Well, interesting young girls, that is. I can't remember what it feels like to be 18 or 19. I can't get a clear picture of it. The result is, the young girls in my stories, they usually turn out unconvincing. I'd like to swap places with you, just for an hour. Find out how you think, what sort of a character you are.
And I'd like to swap places with you.
Why?
To find out what it feels like to be a talented, famous writer. What's it like to be famous? How does being famous affect you?
How? Well, not at all. I don't think. It's never really crossed my mind. There are two possibilities. Now, either you're exaggerating my fame or it doesn't affect me at all.
What about when you read about yourself in the newspapers?
Well, if they praise you, it cheers you up, and if they attack you, it depresses you for a couple of days.
What a marvelous existence! If you only knew how much I envy you. People's destinies are so different. Some people can scarcely plod through their dull, obscure lives. They're all alike, all unhappy. And others, like you, for example, fate deals them with a really fascinating life, a glittering life, full of meaning. You're so lucky.
Am I? You talk about fame and luck, about some glittering and fascinating life, but all these fine words, forgive me. They're just like so many sugar plums, which I never eat. You're very young and very sweet.
But your life is wonderful.
I don't see what's so special about it. It's time for me to go and write. I'm sorry, I can't stay. And see, it's what they call a sore point. Well, you've stepped on my pet bunion, and I'm starting to get steamed up, even a bit angry. All right, let's talk. Well, let's talk about my wonderful, glittering life. So, where shall we start? There is such a thing as obsession. When, for example, a man thinks all day and night about nothing but the moon, and I have my own moon. All day and night, I am haunted by a single obsessive thought. I have to write, I have to write, I have to write. No sooner have I finished one story than for some reason or another I have to write a second story, then a third, and after the third, a fourth. I write non-stop at breakneck speed, and I can't seem to do it any other way. Now, what's so wonderful and glittering about that, may I ask? Oh, it's a preposterous life. I'm here, with you, getting steamed up. But at the same time, I can't forget for a second that there is an unfinished story waiting for me. There's a cloud See? Well, it looks like a grand piano. Well, I think to myself, must fit it into my story somewhere that a cloud floated by looking like a grand piano. I can smell heliotrope. Now I immediately make a mental note. Sickly smell, flowers for a widow, refer to it when describing a summer's evening. Now I keep fixing on every phrase, on every word you or I utter, and I can't wait to add all these phrases and words to my literary stockpile. I never know when they might come in handy. When I finish work, I run out to the theatre or go fishing. Perhaps I can have a rest and forget about it all. But no! There's some new subject trundling about inside my head like a heavy iron ball, and it's drawing me back towards my desk, and I have to rush back and start again, writing and writing. And it's like that all the time. All the time. I can't get away from myself. I feel like I'm swallowing up my whole life, and that to make the honey for someone out there in the void, I'm taking the pollen from my own best flowers. In fact, I'm ripping up the flowers and trampling on their roots. I must be insane, don't you think? And my friends, family, you think they treat me as if I were quite sane? What are you writing? What are you going to treat us to next? It's always the same thing, always. And it seems to me this scrutiny from my friends, this praise, this enthusiasm, it's all a pretense. They're all humouring me as they would an invalid. And any minute now they're going to creep up on me. And they're going to grab me and cart me off to the asylum like Gogol's madmen. When I was young, through my best years, back when I was starting, writing was unmitigated torture. Am I no writer? Especially before he's had any success, thinks of himself as clumsy, bungling, and unnecessary. His nerves are on edge, he's unhinged. He can't stop himself loitering around people in the arts and literature, unnoticed, unrecognized, afraid to look anyone directly in the eyes, like a compulsive gambler with no money. I never came across my reader, but for some reason, I always thought of him as hostile and suspicious. I found the whole idea of the public terrifying. Whenever I put on a new play, I always imagined that everybody in the audience with dark hair was my enemy, and everybody with fair hair was just cold and indifferent. Oh, it's all so dreadful. It's agony.
But surely your inspiration and the creative process itself, they must give you moments of elation and pleasure.
Yes. Yes. When I'm actually writing, I enjoy it. And I like reading the proofs. But the minute it's published, I can't stand it. I can see right away it's not what it ought to be. It's a mistake. It should never have been written in the first place, and I'm disappointed. I feel useless. And then the public reads it and says, yes, charming, clever, charming, but it's hardly Tolstoy, or it's very good, but Turgenev's Fathers and Sons is better. And it'll be charming and clever till the day I die. Charming and clever, and that's it. And once I'm dead, my friends, whenever they pass my grave, they'll say, well, here lies Trigorin. He was a good writer, but not as good as Turgenev.
I'm sorry. I refuse to understand you. You're just spoiled by success.
What success? I've never liked myself. I've never liked myself as a writer. And the worst thing is I live my life in some sort of a stupor, and I frequently don't understand what it is that I'm writing. I love this stretch of water here. The trees, the sky. I respond to nature. I feel passionate about it. It gives me an irresistible desire to write. See, I am not only a landscape painter, I am also a citizen. You know, I love my country, I love its people. I feel if I'm a writer, then it is my duty to talk about their people and their sufferings and their future and science and human rights and other things like that, you know? And I do talk about these things in a great length. And people pester me constantly and then they get angry at me. And I tear around all over the place like a fox hunted by a pack of hounds. And I can see life and science speeding further and further ahead, leaving me behind, so I'm left there. Like a peasant who's missed his train. And in the end, all I can do is describe landscapes. And in every other respect, I'm a fraud. I'm a fraud right down to the marrow of my bones.
You're overworked. So you don't have the time or the inclination to appreciate how important you are. But to other people, you're great. You're wonderful. If I were a writer like you, I'd dedicate my whole life to the people. But I'd always be aware that their true happiness would only lie in trying to rise to my level and harnessing themselves to my chariot.
My chariot? What am I, Agamemnon?
For that kind of happiness, I mean, the happiness of being a writer or an actress, I'd be prepared to suffer the resentment of my family, poverty, disappointments. I'd live in a garret and eat nothing but black bread and enjoy not being satisfied with my work and being aware of my own imperfections. But in return, I'd ask for fame. Real, spectacular fame. Oh, my head's spinning.
Boris Alexeyevich!
I'm being called. See, probably to pack. But I don't want to leave. It's wonderful here. It's paradise.
See that house and garden on the far side?
Yes.
That's my mother's estate. I was born there. I know every little island on it.
It's a really lovely spot. What's that?
A seagull? Konstantin Gavrilovich killed it.
What a beautiful bird. I really don't want to leave. Can't you persuade Irina Nikolaevna to stay?
What are you writing?
Just making a note. Flash of an idea. An idea for a short story. A young girl, like you, spends her whole life by a lake. And she loves that lake, like a seagull. And she's happy and free as a seagull. But one day, a man happens to come by, sees her, and for want of anything better to do, he destroys her. Just like this seagull here.
Boris Alexeyevich, where are you?
Coming! What?
We're staying.
dreaming.
I'm telling you all of this because you're a writer. You might be able to make use of it. I'm telling you the honest truth. If he'd seriously injured himself, I wouldn't have been able to go on living another minute. All the same, I do have some courage. I've just decided. I'm going to rip this love out of my heart. I'm going to rip it out by the roots.
How?
By getting married to Medvedenko.
You mean the teacher?
Yes.
I don't understand why you need to do that.
Loving without any hope? Waiting for something for years on end? Once I'm married, there will be no time left for love. All of the old troubles will be blotted out by new ones. At least, you know, it'll be a change. What about a refill?
Wouldn't that be overdoing it?
Here we are. Don't look at me like that. Women drink more often than you might think. Only minority drink in public the way I do. Most of them drink in secret. Oh yes, and always vodka or brandy. Good luck. You're an honest man. I'm sorry to see you go.
Personally, I don't want to leave.
Then go and ask her to stay.
No, she won't stay now. Her son is being extremely tactless. First he has a go at shooting himself, and now I'm told he's planning to challenge me to a duel. Why? He sulks and sneers and proselytizes for new forms, but there's plenty of room for everyone, isn't there? New and old. Why make such a fuss?
Well, he's also jealous. Not that that's any of my business. He's not too bright, my teacher. But he's a kind man, and he's poor. And he loves me very much. I'm sorry for him. And I'm sorry for his old mother. Well, let me wish you all the best. Don't think badly of me. Thank you very much for your sympathy.
Huh.
Send me your books, and make sure you write a dedication in them. Only don't say respects and best wishes. Just say, to Maria, who doesn't know where she belongs or what she's doing on this earth. Goodbye.
Odd or even?
Oh. Even.
No. I only have one pea in my hand. I was trying to resolve a puzzle. Should I or should I not become an actress? I wish there was someone who could give me some advice.
You can't give advice about something like that.
We're parting and we may never see one another again. Please, won't you take this little medallion to remember me by? I've had your initials engraved on one side, and on the other, the title of your book, Days and Nights.
Beautiful. What a lovely present.
Think about me sometimes.
I will think about you. I'll think about you as you were on that sunny day last week, do you remember? In your light dress. We had a conversation and there was a white seagull lying on the bench.
A seagull? Yes. We'd better stop talking. Someone's coming. Before you go, let me have a couple of minutes with you. Will you? Please.
Stay here at home, old thing. What's the point in traipsing about with your rheumatism? Who was that just went out? Nina?
Yes.
Pardon. Didn't mean to interrupt. I'm exhausted. Is everything packed, I think?
Page 121, lines 11 and 12. What are those lines? Are there any of my books in the house?
Yes, my brother's study, corner bookcase. Really, Petrusha, you'd be better off staying at home.
Oh, but you're going away. It'll be depressing here without you.
What's there to do in the town?
Well, nothing much, you know. They're laying the foundation stone for the district council building, that sort of thing. Well, I just want to wake up, if only for an hour or two from my torpid existence. I've been lying about like an old cigarette holder, and I've gone stale. Well, I've ordered the horses for 1 o'clock. We'll leave together.
Go on living here and try not to get bored. Don't catch cold. Look after my son, care for him. Get him to do some work. I'm going away and I'll never know why Constantine shot himself. Well, I think jealousy was the main reason, so the sooner I get Trigorin away from here, the better.
Well, how can I put this? There were other reasons. It's not difficult to understand. He's young, he's intelligent, he lives in the country in the back end of nowhere, with no money, no status and no future, nothing whatsoever to do. Well, he's ashamed of his idleness and it frightens him. I love him very much and he's fond of me, but even still, he feels useless in this house, like a parasite, a sponger. It's not difficult to understand. It's a question of self-esteem.
He's such a worry. Perhaps he ought to get a job.
I think by far the best solution would be to let him have a bit of money. In the first place, you just need to look at him. He needs to be able to dress like a human being. You know what I mean. He's been wearing the same jacket for 3 years now, and he doesn't even have an overcoat. It wouldn't hurt him to enjoy himself a little, go abroad or something. It wouldn't have to cost much.
I mean, I could probably manage a suit, but as for going abroad... No, just at the moment, I don't even see how I can manage a suit. I have no money. I don't! I have no money!
Yes. I'm sorry, my dear. I believe you. Don't be angry. You're a generous and magnanimous woman.
I have no money!
Well, naturally, if I had some money, I'd give him some myself, but I have nothing. Not a kopeck. My estate manager takes the entire pension and spends the lot on the farm and the cattle and the bees and well, it's all wasted money. The bees die and the cows die. And they never let me have any horses.
I mean, I do have some money, but I'm an actress. My costume bills alone are enough to ruin me.
Yes. You're good and kind and I respect you, but I'm not feeling very good. I feel dizzy. I'm not feeling very well. You know what I mean?
Patricia! Oh, Patricia! Help! Help! He got all dizzy.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. The moment's passed, you know what I mean.
Don't worry, Mother. It's not serious. Nowadays, Uncle often has these turns.
Yes, that's right.
You need to lie down, Uncle.
Well, yeah, so, okay, just for a little while, but, well, I'm still going into town. I'll have a little rest, but then I'm going. You can take my word for it.
Here's a riddle for you. On all fours in the morning, on 2 legs at noon, and on 3 legs in the evening.
Oh, yes, I know that one. And flat on your back at night. Thanks, I can manage on my own.
Come on, don't stand on ceremony.
He gave me such a fright.
It doesn't do him any good living in the country. He gets depressed. If you could only be generous for once, Mother, and lend him 1,500 or 2,000, he'd be able to live in town for a whole year.
I have no money. I'm an actress, not a banker.
Mother, change my bandage for me. You're so good at it.
The doctor's late.
He promised he'd be here by 10, and it's already noon.
Sit down. You look as if you're wearing a turban. There was someone in the kitchen yesterday asking what nationality you were. It's almost completely healed up. Hardly anything there at all. You won't play any more silly games with guns while I'm away, will you?
No, Mother. It was just an insane moment of despair. I couldn't control myself. It won't happen again. You have magic fingers. I remember, ages ago, when I was a little boy and you were still working at the State Theatre. There was a fight in the courtyard, and a washerwoman who lived in our block was badly beaten up. Do you remember? She was unconscious by the time they got to her. You used to go and see her. You brought her medicine. You bathed her children in the tub. You must remember.
No.
There were 2 ballerinas living in our same block. They used to come for coffee with you.
That I do remember.
They were very religious. Just recently, these last few days, I love you as tenderly and devotedly as I did when I was a child. You're all I have left now. Why is it? Why do you let yourself be influenced by that man?
You don't understand him, Constantine. He's a very honourable man.
All the same, when he heard I was planning to challenge him to a duel, his honor didn't stop him panicking. He's getting out of here, ignominiously running away.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm the one begging him to leave. You're an intelligent man. Why won't you respect my freedom?
I do respect your freedom, but then don't take away my freedom to think what I like about him. A very honourable man. Here we are, virtually quarreling over him, while he's in the drawing room or the garden, having a good laugh at our expense, working on Nina, trying to convince her he's a genius.
You enjoy saying these horrible things to me. I admire that man,
I must ask you not to insult him in front of me.
Well, I don't admire him. You also want me to think he's a genius. Well, I'm sorry, I can't lie about it. His books make me want to throw up.
Envy! People with pretensions but no talent have no recourse but to run down real talent as their only consolation.
Real talent? I have more talent than all the rest of you put together if you want to know the truth. You're in a rut. All of you. You've snatched top spot in the art world and you think only the kind of stuff you do is bona fide and legitimate. And you suppress and silence everyone else. I don't believe in any of you. I don't believe in you or him. All he can do is drink beer and make love to older women.
Degenerate!
Go back to your beloved theater and keep on acting in your pathetic, trivial plays.
I have never acted in a play of that description! Just leave me alone! You couldn't even write the most abject pantomime, you petite bourgeois from Kiev, you parasite!
Myself.
Beggar! You mediocrity! Don't cry! Don't! You mustn't cry. My dear son, forgive me. Forgive your wicked mother. Forgive your miserable mother.
If you only knew. I've lost everything. She doesn't love me. I can't write anymore. I've lost all hope.
Don't give in to despair. Everything will be all right. I'll take him away from you and she'll start loving you again. That's enough now. We're friends, yes?
Yes, Mother.
Be friends with him as well. There's no need for duel now, is there?
All right, just, Mother, don't make me see him again. It's too difficult for me. Unbearable. Right, I'm going. The doctor can do the bandage later.
Page 121, line 11 and 12. Here we are. If my life could ever be of any use to you, come and take it.
They'll be bringing the horses around soon.
If my life could ever be of any use to you, come and take it.
Hope you're all packed.
Yes, yes. Why do I sense such sadness in this appeal from a pure spirit? And why does it squeeze my heart so painfully? If my life could ever be of any use to you, come and take it. Let's stay one more day. Oh, come on, let's stay.
Dearest, I know what's keeping you here. Try to control yourself. You're slightly intoxicated. Try to sober up.
You sober up as well. Oh, be sensible, be reasonable. Think of it all the way a real friend would. Oh, you know how to make sacrifices. Be my friend, let me go free.
Are you completely infatuated?
Well, I'm attracted to her. Maybe she's exactly what I need.
The love of some little provincial. You really don't know yourself at all.
People sometimes walk in their sleep. I'm talking to you, but I'm seeing her in my dreams. I'm enthralled by strange and pleasurable dreams. Let me go free.
I'm just an ordinary woman. You can't talk to me like this. You mustn't torture me, Boris. It frightens me.
If you wanted to, you could be extraordinary. Love. Youthful, poetic, seductive, wafting you off into a dream world. It's the only thing in this world that can make you happy. I've never experienced a love like this before. I never had time when I was young. I was always haunting the publishers or struggling with poverty, but now Here it is. Love. Finally here, drawing me in. What's the point of running away from it?
You've taken leave of your senses.
What's wrong with that?
You're all tormenting me today. It's a conspiracy.
She doesn't understand. She refuses to understand.
Am I so old and ugly already you can talk to me about other women with no shame? Oh, you're out of your mind. Oh, my gorgeous, wonderful man. You're the last page of my life. My happiness, my pride, my joy. If you abandon me, even for an hour, I won't survive it. I'll go insane. My wonderful, magnificent man, my master.
Look, somebody might come in.
I'm not ashamed that I love you. Darling hothead. Oh, you want to descend into madness, but I won't let you. I'm not going to let you go free. You're mine. You're mine. This forehead is mine, and these eyes are mine, and this beautiful dark hair is mine as well. All of you is mine. You're so intelligent, so talented. You're the best writer in Russia. You're this country's only hope. You have all this truthfulness and simplicity and originality and down-to-earth humor. You can convey the essence of an individual or a landscape with a single stroke. Your characters come alive. What, you think I'm exaggerating? That I'm flattering you? Just look into my eyes. Look! Do you think I'm a liar? There, see? Oh, I'm the only one who knows how to appreciate you. The only one who tells you the truth. Oh, my beloved, marvelous man. You are going to come away with me? Yes? You're not going to abandon me?
I have no will of my own. I've never had a will of my own. Passive. Feeble. Always caving in. How can a woman possibly find that attractive? Take me. Carry me off. Don't let me out of your sight for 1 second.
Got him. I mean, do stay if you like. I'll leave on my own, and you can join me later, in a week or so. After all, there's no need for you to rush off.
No. No, we'll leave together.
Whatever you like. We'll go together if that's what you want. What are you doing?
I heard a nice phrase this morning. The forest of maidenhood. Might come in handy. So, we off then. More railway carriages, stations, buffets, lamb chops, conversations.
I have the honor to announce, and I'm sorry to say, the horses are ready. Time to leave for the station, dear lady. The train is due at 2:05. Would you do me a favor, Irina Nikolaevna? Could you remember to find out what's happened to the actor Suzdaltsev? What's he doing? Is he alive? Is he well? What he did in the mail robbery? No one could touch him. I remember Ismailov, another amazing character, always acted in tragedies. Was working with him at the time in Elizabethgrad. No rush, dear lady. You've got a good 5 minutes. They once played co-conspirators in some melodrama. When suddenly surrounded, Ismailov was supposed to say, "We're copped, it's a trap." But instead he said, "We're copped, it's a crap." It's a crap.
There are some plums here for the journey. They're really sweet. You might be glad of them.
That's so kind of you, Paulina.
Goodbye, darling. If there was anything that upset you, please forgive us.
Everything was wonderful. It was wonderful. You mustn't cry.
Time passes so quickly.
What can you do?
Time we left, you'll miss the train and all that sort of thing. I'm getting in the carriage.
I'll walk over to the station and see you off. I better get a move on.
Goodbye, my dears. If we're all alive and well, we'll see each other again next summer.
Don't forget me. Paulina, this is a ruble. It's for the servants to share.
They'll be very grateful.
The odd letter would be really welcome. Goodbye, Boris Alexeyevich.
Where's Constantine? I must say goodbye to him.
I've given Paulina a ruble. It's for the servants to share.
Oh no, I've forgotten the plums.
God be with you.
Come on, Boris, are you ready?
Yes, yes, of course. Now, let me just check I have it.
Let me help you, my lady.
Oh, thank you, Jacob. Have a good trip. We're very grateful to
Jacob,
my lady.
are all the cases in the carriage?
Yes, sir.
And the horses?
All harnessed and
Oh,
ready
I've
to
forgotten my stick. I think it's on the veranda.
Boris, really. I'll wait for you in the carriage.
Is that you? We're leaving.
I had a feeling we'd see each other again. Boris Alexeyevich, I've made up my mind once and for all. The die is cast. I'm going to be an actress. I shan't be here tomorrow. I'm leaving my father. I'm abandoning everything. I'm starting a new life, just like you. I'm going to Moscow. We'll see each other there.
Stay at the Slavyansky Bazaar. You let me know as soon as you arrive. Grocholsky House, Molchavanka Street. I must hurry.
One more minute.
You're so beautiful. I'm so happy to think I'll see you again soon. I'll see these wonderful eyes again. I'll see this beautiful, soft smile. Your gentle face. Where you look as pure as an angel. My darling.
Konstantin Gavrilovich! There's no one here. The old man keeps asking over and over again, where's Kostya? Where's Kostya? He can't live without him.
He's frightened of being on his own. It's terrible weather. It's been 2 days of it.
There are waves on the lake. Huge, great waves.
It's so dark in the garden. You should tell them to demolish that stage out there. It's stuck there. And it's as bare and repulsive as a skeleton. With a curtain flapping in the wind. When I walked by it last night, it sounded as if it was someone in there. Weeping.
Yes.
Let's go home, Masha.
I'm staying here tonight.
Masha, please, let's go. Our baby will be hungry.
Nonsense. Matriona will feed him.
It's not right. This will be the 3rd night without his mother.
You've got so boring. There was a time you used to air your theories occasionally. Now it's just baby, home, and that's all I ever hear from you.
Let's go, Masha!
You go.
Your father won't let me have a horse.
Yes, he will. You ask him. He will.
All right. I'll ask him. You come back tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. Stop nagging. What's this about, Mother?
Pyotr Nikolaevich wanted a bed made up in Kostya's room.
I'll do it.
All the people are like children.
Well, I'll be going. Goodbye, Masha. Goodbye, Mother.
Oh, go on, go if you're going.
Goodbye, Konstantin Gavrilovich.
Who could ever have guessed or imagined you finish up a proper writer, Kostya? And now, thank the Lord, here you are, getting paid by the magazines. And you turn out quite handsome. Dear Kostya, you're so kind. Can't you show a little bit more affection to my Mashenka?
Leave him alone, Mother.
She's a good girl. A woman doesn't need much, Kostya. Just a kind look. I know from personal experience.
Now you've made him angry. Why do you have to annoy him?
I feel sorry for you, Mashenka.
What use is that?
My heart aches for you. I see everything. I understand everything.
Don't be ridiculous. Unrequited love is something that only happens in novels. It doesn't mean a damn. All you have to do is get a grip on yourself and expect nothing. Stop waiting for the tide to turn. Once love has dug its way into your heart, you just have to gouge it out again. They've promised to transfer my husband to another district. As soon as we move, I'll forget everything. I'll rip it out by the roots.
That's Kostya playing. It means he's depressed.
The main thing, Mother, is to not have to lay eyes on him. If they'll only give my Simeon his transfer, trust me, I'll have forgotten him in a month. It's all so ridiculous.
6 months to feed at home now, and flour has gone up 2 kopecks a pound.
Keeps you on your toes.
All very well for you to laugh. Money doesn't keep you awake.
Money? After 30 years of practice, my friend, practice so relentless I couldn't call my soul my own, I've managed to save no more than 2,000, all of which I've spent on my recent trip abroad. I'm cleaned out.
Have you still not gone?
How can I? They won't let me have any horses.
I wish I'd never set eyes on you.
You've made so many changes, turned the drawing room into a study.
It's better for Konstantin Gavrilovich's work. He can step out into the garden whenever he feels like it to think out there.
Where's my sister?
She's gone to the station to meet Trigor, and she'll be back soon.
If you thought you needed to send for my sister, I must be seriously ill. Funny thing, seriously ill, and they still won't give me any medicine.
What do you fancy? Valerian drops, soda, quinine.
Here we go with the moralizing. This is torture. Is that for me?
For you, Pyotr Nikolaevich.
Thank you. I want to give Kostya a subject for a story. It's to be called The Man Who Wanted To. Lomkia Vulu. Back in my youth, I wanted to be a writer, but I never did, and I wanted to be a good speaker, and I was hopeless and all that sort of thing. Something. You know what I mean? And I used to take so long summing up that well, even I'd break out into a sweat. And I wanted to get married, and I never did, and I had always wanted to live in the city, and here I am ending my days in the country and all that sort of thing.
Wanted to be a district councillor, and succeeded?
I never wanted that. It just happened.
Complaining about life when you're 62, you must admit it's not very gracious.
You don't give an inch. Can't you understand? I want to live!
That's just foolish. Every life must come to an end. It's a law of nature.
That's the argument of a fulfilled man. Because you're satisfied, you don't care about life. Nothing makes any difference to you, but well, even you'll be afraid when it's your turn to die.
Fear of death is purely animal. You have to overcome it. Being afraid of dying only makes sense for people who believe in eternal life and are worried about their sins. For one, you're not a believer, and two, what sins have you committed? You've served for 25 years in the Justice Department, that's it.
He was 28.
We're keeping Konstantin Gavrilovich from his work.
Oh, that's all right.
Do you mind if I ask you, Doctor? Doctor? When you were abroad, which was your favorite town?
Genoa.
Why Genoa?
Wonderful street life. You step out of your hotel in the evening, and the entire street is seething with people. Then you drift with the crowd, quite aimlessly, up and down, to and fro, and you blend with them, integrate with them, psychologically. And then you start to believe that a single universal soul, like the one that Nina Zarechnaya portrayed in your play, is actually possible. By the way, where is Nina? Where is she and how is she?
Well, as far as I know,
I heard she was leading a rather peculiar sort of life. How did that come about?
it's a long story, Doctor.
Give us the short version.
She ran away from home and went to live with Trigorin. You know that much.
I do.
She had a baby. The baby died. Trigorin lost interest in her and returned to his former arrangements, as might have been expected. Not that he'd ever let them lapse, but somehow cunningly and spinelessly managed to keep everything going at once. As far as I can understand, from what I've been told, Nina's private life has been a complete catastrophe.
What about the theater?
Even worse, apparently. She made her debut at some holiday resort outside Moscow, then left on a provincial tour. Throughout that period, I never lost sight of her, and for a while I followed her wherever she went. She always took leading roles, but she played them crudely, tastelessly, shouting her head off and waving her arms around. Occasionally you could see some talent behind the shouting or in the way she died, but only very occasionally.
So, she does have some talent?
Hard to tell. I'd say so. I saw her, but she wouldn't see me. The servants wouldn't let me in her hotel room. I understood the way she felt. I didn't insist on seeing her. What else can I tell you? Later, after I came back home, I started getting letters from her. Warm, intelligent, interesting letters. She never complained, but I sensed she was profoundly unhappy. Her sick, overwrought nerves showed in every line. Her mind was somewhat disturbed. She signed herself the Seagull. In Rusalka, the miller says he's a raven, and in the same way she kept repeating in her letters that she was a seagull. She's here now.
What do you mean, here?
In town, staying at the inn. She's been there about 5 days. I was going to go and see her. Masha's been, haven't you? But you won't see anyone. Semyon Semyonovich assures us he saw her out in the fields last night after dinner, just over a mile from here.
Yes, that's right, I did see her. She was walking away from here towards the town. I bowed to her and asked why she hadn't been to see us. She said she'd come.
She won't come. Her father and stepmother have disowned her. They put watchmen everywhere so she can't even get near the house. How easy it is, Doctor, to be philosophical on paper, and how difficult it is in life.
She was a lovely girl.
What?
She was a lovely girl, I said. District Councillor Soren was actually in love with her for a while.
Ha! You old Casanova.
Be a good chap.
Sounds as if they're back from the station.
Yes, I can hear Mother.
We're all getting old, battered by the elements. You're still young, dear lady. You like blouse, liveliness, your grace.
Oh, you're just trying to jinx me, you boring man.
Dr. Nikolaevich, not ill again, are you? It's not very good. Maria Ilichnaya.
You recognized me
Married.
ages ago.
Happy? Irina Nikolaevna tells me you're not angry anymore and that you've forgotten the past.
Boris Alexeyevich has brought the magazine with your new story.
Thanks. You're very kind.
Everyone in Petersburg and Moscow is very interested in you. They keep asking me about you. They want to know what you're like, how old you are you dark, are you fair? For some reason, everybody thinks you're no longer young. And of course, as you publish under a pseudonym, nobody knows your real name. You're as mysterious as the man in the iron mask.
Are you staying long?
No. No, I may go to Moscow tomorrow.
I have to. I'm in a rush to get a story finished, and I promised something for an anthology. It's the usual old story. The weather's not very welcoming. Wind is vicious. If it dies down tomorrow, I'll take myself down to the lake for a spot of fishing. Which reminds me, I must have a look at the garden, at that place. Do you remember where your play was performed? I've got a new idea for a story. I just need to have a look at the setting and refresh my memory.
Father, let my husband have a horse. He needs to get home.
Have a horse, needs to get home. See for yourself. They've just been to the station and back. They can't be sent out again.
There must be other horses. I'm trying to reason with you.
I'll walk, Masha. Really.
Walk in this weather? Off we go.
I mean, it's only 4 miles. Goodbye. Goodbye, Mother. I don't want to bother anyone. It's just that the baby... Goodbye.
He's all right to walk. He's not a general.
Off we go. Don't let's waste time. They'll be calling us to supper any minute.
On the long autumn evenings drawing, we always play lotto. Have a look. It's the same old lotto set we had when our mother used to play with us when we were children. Wouldn't you like to join in as a game before supper? It's a boring game, but it's not so bad once you get used to it.
He's read his own story, but he hasn't even cut the pages of mine.
What about you, Kostya?
I'm sorry, I don't really feel like it. I'm going for a walk.
The stake is 10 kopecks a game. Put mine in for me, will you, Doctor?
Done.
Everyone stakes in? Here we go. 22.
I have it.
3.
Yes.
3, did you put it down? 8. 81. 10.
Not so fast.
I was so well received in Chekhov. My goodness, my head is still spinning.
34.
Those students gave me such an ovation. 3 baskets of flowers, 2 bouquets, and this.
That is something.
50.
Around 50.
I had this most astonishing outfit. My goodness. Whatever else you might say about me, I do know how to dress.
Kostya's playing. Poor boy's depressed.
He doesn't get very good reviews.
77.
And what difference does that make?
It's never quite worked out for him. He's still searching for his own voice. There's something weird and imprecise about his work. Sometimes it's almost hallucinatory. Not one single living character.
Legs 11.
Petrusha! Are we boring you? I think he's asleep.
District councillor sleeps.
7. 90.
If I'd lived on an estate like this, by a lake, do you imagine I'd ever have become a writer? I'd have subdued this passion. I'd do nothing else but fish.
28.
Catching a ruff or perch. It's heaven.
Well, I believe in Konstantin Gavrilovich. He's got something. He's got something. He thinks in images. His stories are vivid and colorful, and they really move me. It's just a pity he has no definite objective. He creates an impression, that's all. You won't get far, nothing but impressionism. Irina Nikolaevna, are you pleased your son's a writer?
Can you imagine? I've still never read a word he's written. Can never find the time.
26.
By the way, Boris Alexeyevich, we still have that thing of yours.
What thing?
That seagull Konstantin Gavrilovich shot. You asked me to have it stuffed.
I don't remember that. I don't remember.
Clickety click. 66. On its own. Number 1.
It's so dark. I don't understand why I'm feeling so jumpy.
Kostya, shut the door, there's a draft.
88.
Ladies and gentlemen, full house.
Oh, bravo!
Bravo.
Oh, that man has all the luck, no matter what he does. Let's go and have some supper, shall we? The great man didn't have any lunch today. We'll play more after supper. Kostya, leave your old manuscripts. Come and join us.
I don't want anything, Mother. I'm not hungry.
Please yourself. Supper time, Petrucia. I must tell you how I was received in Hong Kong. Imagine, the whole audience on their feet, and I'm not in my dress for 2 minutes, for the dress was knocking at my feet, yet more flowers.
How come you say? I celebrate kindness.
I've said so much about new forms. But now I feel as if gradually I'm turning conventional myself. The poster on the wall trumpeted. Her pale face framed in dark hair. Trumpeted. Framed. Clichés. I'll start from where he's woken up by the sound of the rain and cut all the rest. The description of the moonlit evening is long and far too elaborate. Trigorin's worked out his own style. It comes easily to him now. He gives you the neck of a broken bottle, glittering by the wear, and the dark shadow of the mill wheel. And there's your ready-made moonlit night. Whereas, what I have is the trembling light, the shimmering silence of the stars, and the faraway strains of the grand piano dying away in the still, sweet-smelling air. Excruciating. As I am more and more convinced, it's not to do with old forms or new forms. It's what someone writes not even thinking about form, but writing what flows freely from his heart. What's that? Can't see a thing. Who's that? Nina, it's you. You. I had a presentiment. All day long I've been feeling this feverish heartache. Oh, my love, my darling, she's here at last. No, let's cry, we mustn't cry.
Someone's coming.
No one's coming.
Lock the door, somebody might come in.
No one's going to come in.
I know Irina Nikolaevna is here. Lock the doors.
There's no lock on this door. I'll put a chair in front of it. Don't be afraid. No one's going to come in.
Let me look at you. warm and nice. Before this used to be the drawing room. Have I changed much?
Yes. You've lost weight and your eyes are bigger. Nina, it's so strange that you're here in front of me. Why didn't you let me see you? Why didn't you come sooner? I know you've been in the area almost a week now. I've been to visit you every day, several times. I've been standing beneath your window like a beggar.
I was afraid you'd hate me. Every night I dream you look straight at me and don't recognize me. If you only knew. From the minute I arrived, I've spent all my time walking up and down beside the lake. I've come close to your house so many times, and I couldn't ever bring myself to cross the threshold. Can we sit down? Let's sit and talk for a while. Just talk. So nice here. Warm and comfortable. Can you hear the wind? There's a line in Turgenev. On a night like this, happy the man with a roof over his head and a warm corner to rest in. I'm the seagull. No, that's not right. What was I saying? Oh yes, Turgenev. And may God help every homeless wanderer. It doesn't matter.
Nina, you mustn't. Nina.
It's nothing. It's good for me. It's been 2 years since I've been able to cry. I went into the garden last night to see if our stage was still in one piece. And it is. It's still standing. I cried for the first time in 2 years. And it did me good. It eased my spirit. See? I've stopped crying. So, you're a writer now. You're a writer and I'm an actress. You and I were both caught in the whirlpool. I used to be as joyful as a child. Every morning I'd wake up singing. I loved you and dreamed of fame. And now, first thing tomorrow, I'm traveling third class to Yelitz with the peasants. And in Yelitz, the culture-loving tradesmen will harass me with their attentions. Life is ugly.
Why Yelitz?
I signed up for the winter season. time to go.
Nina, I cursed you. I hated you. I tore up all your letters and photographs. But I never stopped knowing that my soul was tied to yours through all eternity. I don't have the strength to stop loving you, Nina. Ever since I lost you, and my work started to be published, my life has been unbearable. I'm in torment. In some way, my youth has been torn away from me, and I feel as if I've already been alive on this earth for 90 years. I call to you. I kiss the ground you walk on. Everywhere I look, I see your face, your tender smile, which lit up the best years of my life.
Why is he saying all this? Why is he saying all this?
I'm so lonely. There's no warmth or affection in my life. And everything I write is dry, flat, and dreary. Stay here, Nina, please, I'm begging you. But let me come away with you. Nina, why? For God's sake, Nina.
The horses are waiting by the garden gate. Don't see me off. I'd rather go on my own. Can I have some water?
Where are you going now?
Back into town? Is Irina Nikolaevna here?
Yes. My uncle was taken ill on Thursday and we sent her a telegram asking her to come.
Why did you have to say you kiss the ground I walk on? I deserve to be killed. I'm so exhausted. If only I could get some rest. Rest. I'm the seagull. No, that's not right. I'm an actress. So he's here as well. Well, it doesn't matter. Yes. He never believed in the theater. He laughed at my dreams. And gradually I stopped believing as well and lost heart. And then there were the stresses of love and jealousy. The constant anxieties about my little boy. I became petty and trivial. I started acting badly. I couldn't work out what to do with my arms. I lost control of my voice. I forgot how to stand on stage. You've no idea what it's like to know you're acting appallingly. I'm the seagull. No, that's not right. Do you remember shooting a seagull? A man happens to come by, sees her, and for want of anything better to do, he destroys her. An idea for a short story. No, that's not right. What was I saying? I was talking about acting. I'm not like that anymore. I'm a proper actress now. I enjoy acting. I love it. I find being on stage intoxicating. It makes me feel beautiful. And now, down here, I've been walking and walking, thinking as I walk, thinking and feeling the way my spiritual strength is growing, day by day. I know now, Kostya. I understand that in our work, it doesn't matter whether it's writing or acting, what's important isn't fame or glamour. They're the things I used to dream about. It's the ability to endure, to be able to bear your cross and keep the faith. I do have faith, and it's not so painful anymore. And when I think about my vocation, I'm not afraid of life.
You found your way. And you know where you're going. But I'm still drifting through a maze of dreams and images, with no idea what use it might be. I have no faith, and I don't know what my vocation is.
I must go. Goodbye. When I become a great actress, come and have a look. Do you promise? But now, it's getting late. I can hardly stand up. I'm exhausted. I'm hungry.
Wait, I'll get you some supper.
No! No! Don't see me off. I'll go on my own. So she brought him with her? Well, what difference does it make? When you see Trigorin, don't say anything to him. I love him. I love him even more than I did. An idea for a short story. I love him. I love him passionately. I love him desperately. Wasn't it good here in the old days, Kostya? Do you remember? What a lovely, warm, joyful, pure life it was. And what feelings we had. Feelings like fragile, exquisite flowers. Do you remember? Human beings, lions, eagles, and partridges, antlered deer, geese, spiders, fish, silent beneath the waters, starfish, and invisible microscopic creatures. All living things. All living things. All living things. Their tragic cycle, finally complete, are now extinct. For thousands of centuries, no living species has moved across the face of this earth, and this poor moon has shone her lamp in vain. The cranes no longer wake, whooping in the meadow, and in the lime groves, the may beetle are silent.
I hope no one runs into her in the garden. Tells Mother. She'd be upset.
Strange. The door seems to be locked. Ah. Obstacle course.
Put the wine and Boris Lexvich's beer on the table. We'll play as we drink.
And let's have tea as well.
Here's what I was talking about just now. This is what you ordered.
I don't remember that. I don't remember.
What was that?
Nothing. Probably something exploding in my medicine bag. Not to worry. As I said, a bottle of ether burst. Here I am, at your feet.
That gave me a fright. For a moment, it reminded me of... Everything went black.
There was an article in this about 2 months ago, and I wanted to ask you about it. I've always been fascinated as to why... Get Irina Nikolaevna out of here. Any way you like. The fact is, Konstantin Gavrilovich has shot himself.